whitetail buck, you know, a big body to 4 or 5 year old deer. And we're looking for something with some mass. And she was interested in a typical deer. So that's what we were targeting. And we had done some scouting around for the prior 3 or 4 days trying to find an animal like that. And you know, nothing was showing up. And finally Saturday came around and we got to go out and hunt. I wasn't real confident.
And I trust Randy. I've hunted with him a lot in the past, and so, you know, we don't have a lot of time. I mean, we just don't have a lot of time, and we saw a few deer come and go.
After seeing a bunch of beautiful bucks that just weren't for me, I thought the morning hunt was over.
And then right at daylight, it sort of cleared out, and, you know, we're thinking, you know, it's not going to happen today. And then all of a sudden,
holy smokes, that's a nice deer. He's looking at us and I'm thinking, oh no, oh no. I mean, this may be the only opportunity that we get. And Maddie's got the rifle up. I mean, but it's like everybody in the blind, we're sitting there, it's like, don't move, don't breathe, don't even blink. This buck is looking at us, he's trying to make us out. I mean, it's like, come on, please. I got my fingers crossed and hope we can make the deal happen.
Oh, and if you're ready, Maddie, you're ready. Here you go.
Ready?
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
You feel good about the shot?
Yeah. I can't stop shaking. Oh my God. I was scared he was gonna run off. He started blowing at us.
Well, he snorted when he first come out from the darn thing.
Yeah, what we sprayed down this morning was a good thing, but that's good. That's really, really good. I'm getting cold now.
No, me too. My shakes are wearing off.
I'm still thinking you might have missed.
Stop. You're making me nervous. I didn't see him go down.
Okay, so where was the...
He was right over here.
Right back there, and there's hair right here.
Okay, blood.
He was standing, he was standing right here. I really thought he went this way.
Oh, I see him.
Oh, look at that. Look at the mass on that.
Oh my God. Holy smokes. I had no idea. See, that's the one thing about hunting up here at Legends Ranch. The deer, their bodies are so big that literally when you look at the antlers, when they're alive, they don't look that big. And then when all of a sudden you get down, there is no ground shrinkage. I mean, look at the mass on
that. Well, that's what I said. I knew he had great mass, just like you did. But then when you get up on him, it's a lot more than you expected.
We were all surprised.
I had no earthly idea that he was this big.
No idea.
That's the kind of deer that make Legends Ranch, Legends Ranch. I mean, it really is.
Okay, I want to tell y'all a little about the rifle. This is a Legendary Arms 6.5 Creedmoor, and it's my first time using Legendary Arms. I love it. The trigger pull was sweet. It's light, it's comfortable, and the 6.5 Creedmoor does not kick at all. It's my first time harvesting an animal with caliber, and I have to say I'm very impressed. He only ran about 40 yards. He was out at 80 yards. There was no recoil. I could sit there, follow through, watch my shot. It's a great caliber, and it's a great all-around rifle.
Folks, if y'all come up here to Legends Ranch, you're going to meet Robert.
I know.
Robert runs Legends, okay? Robert is a young man, but let me tell you something. Don't let his age fool you. Robert has been around the world many, many times, and he knows how to run the finest whitetail deer hunting operation there is.
I've got a nice handlebar right here. Okay, I can get the truck to here.
That was a good workout.
We'll get the horns to you, and then you're on your own, Sam.
Oh, good God.
1, 2, 3. Woo, turn around.
So it's the last morning of the hunt, and I think it couldn't be better. I mean, the weather is perfect. A little bit cool, need to have a light jacket on. Starting to just break daylight a little bit. And we head to the stand, get up there, and daylight comes, we look out, and nothing. I guess the deer wound up sleeping in this morning because as soon as the sun came up, we looked out there and there wasn't a deer in the field. And about an hour and a half later, I'm sitting there thinking, well, clearly we made the wrong decision. And then again, it's like somebody just flipped the switch. What happened? Again, it's just off and on, but that's what happens in the pre-rut. I mean, it can be on, then off, then the next day a little bit more on and then off, then a little bit more on as we go to the peak of the rut. And so anyway, sitting there, the deer out in front of us, and all of a sudden, the man showed up. There's a scrape right here. I mean, a fresh scrape. You can tell somebody's been peeing in it. He's right there. Look at the size of this guy's body. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. This is a big-necked, big, heavy Midwestern buck. Oh, wow. I have been looking forward to coming to Missouri to hunt with Extreme Whitetail Adventures now for almost a year. I mean, he's a nice, big, mature buck. Extreme Whitetail Adventures, folks, is owned by David Bowman and his wife Kathy, and they have got some unbelievable property here. It's great habitat. They've got some incredible deer. I mean, look at this guy. I don't know how many points he has. I don't even care. But I come out here because I want the experience. And hunting in Missouri, you know, they call this a show-me state. And I'm telling you what, every time I come to Missouri, I'm more and more impressed.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill. First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this. It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt.
Hi, my name's Ryan Stevens. I manage No Mercy Hunting Services in Gracemont, Oklahoma. It's currently the 3rd week of November and opening day of our gun season here in Oklahoma.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show into beautiful, windy Oklahoma, where right now it's the 3rd week of November. 3rd week of November means what? It means a rut on the whitetail deer herd. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna mix up some tannerite right now, set it at 100 yards, take a few shots, see what happens, make sure the rifle is on target. Okay, here goes. There we go. I love it. I don't think we're gonna have a problem hitting a deer. Now this right here, my friends, again, this is the Professional. It's made by Legendary Arms Works. It comes in 300 Win Mag. I've got it topped off with a 5x30 power Pinnacle scope made by my friends at Sightmark. And this is one sweet shooting rifle. Temperatures in the upper 20s. There's not a breath of wind. Stars out everywhere. And we got about an hour before we can start seeing, so we're gonna slide into the blind now.
We're gonna have Keith on a spot this weekend, which we think will be good. It's a river bottom with a lot of native vegetation. We got a feeder in there, and we've spotted some good deers on camera. Most of our photos have been at night, but and it's been really warm, but we've got a good cold front moving in that we think will get the deer moving. And so we're hoping he'll have a good hunt this weekend on that property.
Right now, it's right around the 3rd week of November, and the rut is well underway. The first major cold front has blown in, and I'm telling you what, it is chilly, and there's not much around here to block the wind when it starts blowing. We had a hard freeze last night. I'm talking about a hard freeze. You know, we got in here early, watch the sun come up, and I am cold, really cold right now. So far, the deer haven't shown up. One of the cool things about hunting deer in Oklahoma this year, in 2016, is the fact that they extended the season. I mean, prior to this, the season was only 1 week long for rifle hunting, but now, the season, they've extended it, and it's 2 weeks long. There's a deer back there in that brush. Boy, that's thick. That's a good sign, at least something's up and moving. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Temperature has risen a whopping about 3 degrees. It's still dang cold. I've got the window shut because the wind started kind of picking up. So far, I've seen one doe, and she was very, very much on alert. This is the kind of action that I experience in the South when it gets really cold. I don't know how it is for y'all. Get on my Facebook page and let me know what you think. I mean, as far as the activity, if you live in the South and it gets really cold, what does it do for the deer activity in your area? Because I know wherever I hunt, when it gets cold, I'd much rather hunt late in the afternoons because it seems like when it warms up, the deer activity gets a whole lot better. So get on my Facebook page and let me hear your thoughts on that. Right now, I'm gonna head in for a cup of coffee and some lunch. Get warmed up, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We had a spike come through, and he boogered, and I am expecting to see some activity tonight because this morning was unbelievable slow. It's warmed up really nice, probably 50 degrees right now, so I'm optimistic that something's going to happen here soon.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconics, Walls Pro Series, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. The High Road will be right back. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
All right, this one was handed off to me from one of my producers. He says, hello, my name is Joe Banty. I was trying to get in touch with Mr. Warren in regards to our hunting heritage. I know he's a big advocate of all forms of hunting. In Virginia, we hunt whitetails with hounds. There are some groups of hunters trying to outlaw it. It's been around this state and the South for a long time. To see it outlawed would be a tragedy. Any help on trying to keep it alive would be greatly appreciated. I'm for all forms of hunting. To see another group of hunters try to get rid of it devastates me. Thanks for your time. Joey, it devastates me too. That's the reason why we call our program The High Road, because we encourage all hunters to unite and support all forms of legal hunting. And that also goes for hunting product manufacturers. All forms of legal hunting should be protected and preserved, and we should just stop the infighting amongst hunters. So whether you do it or not, doesn't make any difference in my opinion. Take the high road and support all forms of legal hunting. Joey, that's a great question. It is cold. All right. There's not any wind right now, not a cloud in the sky, stars everywhere. And got about a half a mile walk down towards the river bottom. That is where our stand's gonna be. Whew, is it frosty? So a little bit cooler down here on the river bottom. It's a real nice setup. And we're about as close to the river as we can be without being in it right here. This is good. So the deer have been few and far between, and the turkeys are right there. But all I know is that the chances of success look bleak right now. There's a buck right there going to the river. We may be able to get a shot at him if he comes by. Right there. Hopefully he'll turn around and come this way. We need to be paying attention right down through the woods here. Ryan and Greg have got a couple of dozen stands like this where they've got game cameras on all of them. And we were looking at the game cam pics, and I mean, they got lots of them and lots of nice bucks. The problem is they're all coming in at night. And so the best thing I could do is just kind of pick a spot that I felt comfortable with the wind, with the cover. And this particular area I'm comfortable with. And we sat up here, we sat here all day long yesterday, and we didn't see much. There's a doe right there, just popped her head out. Holy crap, look at that buck behind her. That's a big buck. That is a nice shooter right there. Let him step out. Let him step out. Holy crap, look at him. He's walking right to the feeder. All right, I'm gonna get him to raise his head. When he raises his head, I'm gonna bust him. Here goes. Hey! 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 I do not believe that. I do not. Wow. Welcome to Oklahoma, friends. We looked up, there's a doe standing right over here by the feeder. And all of a sudden, a buck stepped out right behind her. And got him to raise his head up, shot him, and he ran right over here and he fell right there. So anyway, that is awesome. Opening weekend, Oklahoma, and I have been looking forward to this for a long, long time. Oh, what a cool looking deer. Look at this guy. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at the character on him. Holy cow. Oh my goodness gracious. Would you look at that? He's really just a mainframe 8-point, but I want to show you the antlers because he's got a split brow tine over here. It looks like he broke something off over here. He's got this extra hook on him right here. And he's got an extra kind of a G3, kind of double row on the inside. This is the exact same buck that Greg had on the game camera coming in here, but he had never had him on the game camera coming in during the daytime, ever. Come hunt during the rut, and odds are, put in your time, and I mean, They very well may show back up like this guy did. Folks, this is a fantastic place to hunt. This is free range hunting in the state of Oklahoma. There's a lot of farmland around here, a lot of good cover, the river bottom, and a lot of really good whitetails. So if y'all want to get a hold of Ryan Stevens with No Mercy Hunting, we'll have a direct link from our website right to his website. Make sure you get a hold of him, tell him that you saw the video, and if you book it with him, I promise you're going to be happy. These guys got some really good deer. You know, right now what we're going to do, I'm going to wait for Gray to come back and pick me up, get this guy tagged, take some pictures, and head in for some coffee. It is mighty cold.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Pulsar, Timber Creek Outdoors, Legends Ranch, the Lucas Oil Outdoor Line, Record Rack Deer and Elk Feed, and FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination. The High Road will be right back.
This looks like a different kind of a gun. It is, and I'm going to show you how it works right now.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill. First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this. It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt. I mean, the season is long and we still got a lot more to go, but I mean, I've been running solid. I want to kind of show you, this is Kent's driving. There's Kent right there. And Bowen has got his camera going right there. There's Bowen, say hi, Bowen. It's pretty warm, but we've got some, I want to tell y'all, we got some cool tools with us. Of course, I mean, with the rut coming on, I'm going to be using special golden estrus, you know that. And for those of you who do not subscribe to the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel has got hundreds of videos on it to where the tips, how-tos, behind the scenes, and some good stuff that I think you'll find very interesting. Let it rain. We've been driving quite a while now. We wound up left out about mid-morning and headed up Interstate 35 up through Dallas. Did a Facebook Live post, and I've been on my telephone since I got off the Facebook Live answering different people's questions. Okay, how do I finish this, guys? It says it's still live. There we go. We stopped. It was raining a little bit. We put our bags up in trash bags, and so we've stopped to fuel up, and an hour and a half away from our destination. And I'm tired of being in the back seat of this thing. at Extreme Whitetail Adventures. I've been looking forward to coming to Extreme Whitetail Adventures for almost a year now. So when David and Kathy wound up buying it, I made a commitment to them. I'm going to come up here, and now I'm kicking myself because I didn't come up here sooner.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having us out here.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming.
It was dark 30 when we came rolling in, and David wasn't around, but Kathy was. So she showed us around the lodge, showed us to our rooms, and it's time to get some shut-eye. All right, we're just getting settled in. We wound up, met the guys, and had a really nice talk with Kathy, and we really kind of huddled up. The one thing is, I don't want to get in a hurry and go out tomorrow and hunt. The reason why is I always practice this rule. Whenever I get to a place, no matter if I'm driving down the street or driving 12 hours like we did today, I always want to check my rifle, make sure it's still on. I don't want to hunt unless it's still on, so what we're going to do in the morning, we're going to sleep in, and then we're going to go out, we're going to shoot the rifle, make sure it is still zeroed in, and make a plan for the remainder of the day.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconyx, 10X high-performance hunting gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
This one is from Dominic. He says he's from Michigan. He says, "Hi, Mr. Warren. I've read lots of conflicting opinions on how to tell when the whitetail rut happens, and I wanted to know your thoughts. I see fawns every year starting in early June that look really small. Can you backdate from then to tell me when the rut is?" Dominic, that's a real good way to tell when the rut is. But the deal about it is you need to understand that the whitetail gestation period is about 196 to 200 days. You're not going to see a whitetail fawn, odds are, until it's a couple of weeks old. And so what I say, it's about 210 days before you're going to actually see the fawns out up moving with their mama. So it's about 7 months. So from the first time you see a fawn, backdate 7 months, and that's probably when that fawn was conceived. Action is extremely smooth. This has a three-way safety where all the way back is safe. Halfway forward you can't pull the trigger, but you can still raise the bolt up. Of course, and all the way forward is fire. So this right here is an unbelievable accurate rifle. I'm shooting 180 grain Freedom Munitions tagged out ammo, and it likes that ammo. We're going to go down and take a look at it. I'll show you. Well, now that we know that it's sighted in all right, it's time to take a look around. We found a nice little scrape about 15 feet away right there. Turn it on, just simple as that. The cool thing about this camera is that to operate it, you don't have to get up here close to it. It runs off of Wi-Fi, off your telephone.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Pulsar, Nemo Arms, Legends Ranch, the entire line of Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing systems, Record Rack deer and elk feed, and freedommunitions.com, your online ammunition destination.
This place here is known for really big deer, really big deer. Now, I didn't just bring along the Legendary Arms 300 Win Mag with me. I brought along another rifle. If this looks like a different kind of a gun, it is, and I'm going to show you how it works right now. This is a 50 caliber pneumatic air gun, called a PCP. It's a Dragon Claw, and you can get them online at pyramidair.com. I want to tell you about it. It's a 50 caliber. It shoots an arrow at 500 feet per second, and it also shoots a 50 caliber pellet, but it's really nothing but a muzzle loader bullet. It's topped off with a variable power scope, and these two long tanks right here, this is like an air chamber that you charge it right here on the end. You put your charging hose right here, you charge it, and it gets compressed air in here, and then you cock it by pulling the hammer back like that. It has a nice safety. You'll notice on the bottom of the fore end it has a pressure gauge, and that pressure gauge will tell you how much air pressure is in the reservoir here. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to load it up, take a shot at 40 yards, and I'm going to show you, because this thing will perform like you can't imagine. I've never seen somebody shooting a rifle like this on television, and it shoots either a pellet or an arrow at 500 feet per second. There we go. That's what I was talking about. I mean, if that piece of wood was not behind there,
yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Look at the penetration.
Right.
This thing is shooting 500 feet per second, and it's got the most unreal penetration. And the reason why I brought the Dragon Claw is real simple. David said if an old doe came in and I felt comfortable to go ahead and I could use the Dragon Claw to take it out. The first evening we sat out and we saw a lot of deer, but really no rutting activity. I wasn't expecting too much the next morning, but boy was I wrong. It's like somebody went and turned the switch. There was activity, there were some bucks in there, nothing really big, some does. They were running around, all of a sudden a doe came in, it's like, shoot me. You tell me that arrow doesn't fly fast. You know, the arrow flies so fast out of this gun that it really is hard to see it, even when you're looking through the scope. Look at this. As luck would have it, I was expecting that doe to drop pretty quick, but it didn't. It wound up went down and down and down. I followed that blood trail all the way down to, well, about the thickest spot on the property. Holy smokes, would you look at the size of this old doe. Oh my goodness, you can tell she thrashed down here. Look at this. This is exactly what David asked me to
to go for. Look at the size of the hole in that. Look at how big she is. This is probably, I'm serious, probably 160, 170 pound doe. This is a great big old one and a great one to take. Every ranch I go to, if it's good hunting, it is intensely managed, and that means that they have to take does. And I'm all about taking does. I mean, we take all the meat home. People say, what do you do with all the meat from the deer? Well, we take it home. We eat all we can. What we can't eat, we give to our friends and neighbors, and we share the bounty that we get out in the field with people that are less fortunate. Would you take a look at this doe? Wow, I am thrilled to death. The only downside of this is she's in the very bottom. I gotta go get David to help me get it out. But that's a good problem to have.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com, Liberty Safe, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, Castle Rock Outfitters, and OpticsPlanet.com.
So it's the last morning of the hunt, and I think it couldn't be better. I mean, the weather is perfect. A little bit cool, need to have a light jacket on. Starting to just break daylight a little bit. And we head to the stand, get up there, and daylight comes, we look out, and nothing. I guess the deer wound up sleeping in this morning because as soon as the sun came up, we looked out there and there wasn't a deer in the field. And about an hour and a half later, I'm sitting there thinking, well, clearly we made the wrong decision. And then again, it's like somebody just flipped the switch. What happened? Again, it's just off and on, but that's what happens in the pre-rut. I mean, it can be on, then off, then the next day a little bit more on and then off, then a little bit more on as we go to the peak of the rut. And so anyway, sitting there, the deer out in front of us, and all of a sudden, the man showed up. There's a scrape right here. I mean, a fresh scrape. You can tell somebody's been peeing in it. And he's right there. Look at the size of this guy's body. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. This is a big-necked, big, heavy Midwestern buck. Oh, wow. I have been looking forward to coming to Missouri to hunt with Extreme Whitetail Adventures now for almost a year.
I'm David Bowman, owner of Extreme Whitetail Adventures here in Missouri. I ran into Keith Warren about a year ago, and I asked him, what would it take to get him to come film at my place? He said, not much. I've been wanting to get up there and hunt that place.
I mean, he's a nice, big, mature buck. Extreme Whitetail Adventures, folks, is owned by David Bowman and his wife Kathy, and they have got some unbelievable property here. It's great habitat. They've got some incredible deer. I mean, look at this guy. I don't know how many points he has. I don't even care. But I come out here because I want the experience. And hunting in Missouri, you know, they call this a show me state. And I'm telling you what, every time I come to Missouri, I'm more and more impressed.
We have anything from giants to beautiful management bucks here. We offer 3-day exclusive, all-inclusive hunts. If you're interested, check us out at www.extremewhitetailadventures.com or give me a call at 407-733-9969.
If you want to contact David at Extreme Whitetail Adventures, we'll have a direct link off of our website right to his website. Give him a call. He'll be happy to answer any questions. And if you come out here, I think you're going to be very, very impressed. Hopefully the weather won't be as warm, but even in warm weather, these deer were starting to move. This is great. I am very, very happy with him. Don't have to move this one far to get to the buggy, but look at the size of him. The neck is incredible. Deer well over 200 pounds. Wow. You know, for me and the kind of hunters that I hang around with, whitetail hunting is not about killing the biggest deer that you can kill. It's about the experience. It's about going out there and taking everything in, from the leaves falling and the acorns on the ground to watching the deer play. It's making new friends that you'll have for the rest of your life. It's seeing new places and seeing new faces, and it's the experience. It's everything wrapped up into one. So yeah, we come to a place as hunters to get that experience, and yep, to take home hopefully a big deer. But I want to take home, every single time I go to the woods, I want to take home a big experience. I've known Babe Winkleman for a long time. I mean, I go back, and many of you may not. I live for the hunt. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
I'll pick you up at dark.
All right. A few folks from Texas, I probably look a little silly here wearing orange. I'm just so used to it. About every place in the country that we go requires orange, not all of them. But to me, it's just another way to promote safety. Wearing a box blind doesn't make any difference. So, in case you're wondering, that's why I got it on. It's a habitual, if you will, for me.
I just put Babe in a stand about a half-mile away, and this is his first time down here. This is actually my first time to hunt here in years, and I'm actually on a mission. I'm trying to take a specific kind of deer for management purposes.
This is my first time on this kind of a Texas deer hunt. Keith Warren, who's been in the television business for 20-some years, he and I just got to be friends over the years, and we got to talking. He said, why don't you come down and do a show at my place with me, film a show with me? And I said, that's awful nice of you, Keith. He said, I'm serious. I said, so am I. Thanks. Let's do it. And that's how this started. I did not know until a few weeks ago that his operation here is a high fence operation.
20 years ago when we bought the place, if you'd have told me that we were going to put a high fence up, I'd have said, you're full of bull. There's no way I'm going to put up a high fence. But then I became a landowner, and then I became aware of the fact that there was no way in the world that I could grow big deer unless I did put up a high fence. And the reason why is because neighbors. The neighbors, no matter what piece of property you have, you're going to have neighbors. Hopefully you have good neighbors. But if you don't have good neighbors, and you have neighbors that are going to try to take the benefit of everything that you put into a piece of property, you put water out, you put food out, you pass up all the young deer, and as soon as they jump the fence, one of the girlfriends takes them over there for a day, they don't come back because the neighbor's not committed to growing the biggest, best deer that they can. They're committed to just if it's brown, it's down. And so there was no way that I was going to ever accomplish my goal at growing big deer unless I did put up a high fence.
Typically, the only type of hunting I've ever done for deer, and what I thrive on, is fair chase deer out in the middle of God knows where. But this is going to be a whole new experience for me, because this is a type of hunting for a lot of people in America who support hunting with everything they could. That's what Keith's operation is here. And he just loves it for the deer. This is his own personal place here. And me, I never get sick and tired of watching deer do whatever they're going to do. We know that there's going to be deer. God knows what's going to be here. Keith just told me when he dropped me off here, he said, I have no idea what's around this area. He said, we have not had anybody hunt here at all. So we'll just look and wait to see, and maybe we'll get a crack at one today, and maybe we won't.
Kind of quiet tonight on the Texas Hidden Springs Ranch. Matter of fact, this is about the slowest night that I've experienced in a long, long time.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconics, 10X High Performance Hunting Gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. The High Road will be right back.
The place I'm putting Babe this morning is a blind that we call the Short Tower. Short Tower is up on a ridge overlooking a clearing in the middle of a bunch of oak trees. This is the same spot that yesterday when we took Babe to the area that we call the Hidden Blind. We drove right past it, saw a big frame typical buck. He was locked down with a doe there. Coming back, he was there again. So the hope is that we put him there this morning, that buck will show up. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to an area that we're going to be overlooking a water source. Later on today, I'm going to be checking game cameras and tell us a whole lot. But right now, I'm getting a late start out this morning. I don't think it matters. These deer aren't moving much. The weather's warm, really warm. Matter of fact, right now it ought to be in the 40s, and right now it's probably in the mid-60s. It's going to get up close to 80 degrees today. So the deer activity is slow. I get asked all the time, how many deer do you shoot on your own place? The answer is very, very few. I'm extremely selective, and there's a reason why. I love growing deer. I love growing big deer. It's a passion of mine. The only reason why I'll shoot one is because I really need to, because it's a management decision. That's it. We try to target our management deer early in the season. The reason why is we don't want them breeding. And our management deer, for the most part, are pretty doggone good deer. On most places, they'd say, oh, that's kind of like a lower-end trophy maybe. But our management bucks are big because genetically, I mean, we've shot out most of the bad genetics. And so we try to take these deer out early. We try to identify them on game cameras, say, okay, we want to take this one, this one, this one. And so earlier in the year, you know, we've taken some pretty nice management deer, and we saw this one deer. It's like, gosh, I was hoping somebody'd smoke him. But all of a sudden, the rut came on, and he just went underground. We couldn't find him anymore. And really, I mean, we kept putting cameras out and trying to get pictures, and finally, all of a sudden, we started getting some pictures of him. But it was always at dark. If I get a shot here, it's going to be at a real close distance, less than 100 yards. Let's see what happens. As a deer manager, the one thing that I really like is seeing a lot of deer. The one thing that you've got to do, though, you got to take deer. And so for me, I want to see a lot of deer. I want to look at them, and it allows me an opportunity not just to learn, but be able to actually figure out which one I want to pull the trigger on to take out a herd. You know, many times people will wind up going out and shooting the very first thing that comes in, and I understand that, because they're hunting in areas that don't have a big deer population. But when you come to a place like this that is managed for one reason only, and that's to grow the best whitetail deer that we can. And so I want to study them, I want to look at them, I want to make sure that when I pull the trigger, I'm confident I'm making the right decision.
Big deer coming. He's back in the grass. Just coming out. Ooh, it's a good one. It is a big one. And it's not really light enough yet. I'm seeing the briars that he's gonna keep on eating. I seen the doe he's with. She just scampered around him when I don't want happening is her pulling him out of here. Oh boy, he's a nice buck. That is a deer I will shoot. Beautiful mainframe den. Whack! Dropped him right in his tracks. I shoot a 300 WSM, a short mag in here. And you might say, that's too much gun for Texas deer. Bull is what I say. It's impossible to be overgunned. It's just possible to be undergunned. And he ain't going nowhere.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Pulsar, Nemo Arms, Legends Ranch, the entire line of Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing systems, Record Rack Deer and Elk Feed, and FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination. The High Road will be right back. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
All right, my name is Damon Flores, and my question is about supplemental feeding deer. I've got 300 acres high fence property I just fenced off, and my goal is to raise big deer. I know you feed Record Rack, but how long should it take to see results? Damon, that's a good question. The truth of the matter is you've got to have data, and if you don't have any data of the deer before you started feeding the supplemental feed, you won't know whether you're making ground or not. And so I encourage people to get lots and lots of data. There's no time like the present to start supplemental feeding, and I promise you, you're going to see results. But the deal is, once you start, you need to keep feeding continuously. Keep the feed out there. It's supplemental feed, not primary feed. You're going to see peaks and valleys. When Mother Nature is plentiful, you got a lot of rainfall, you're going to see a diminishing amount of feed eaten. When it's tough, like it can be sometimes in Texas, you're going to see more feed eaten. So it all depends upon the data. You've got to have data in order to gauge where you are in your program.
Big deer coming. Ooh, it's a good one. It is a big one. Whack! Dropped him right in his tracks. I desperately want to go see him and see if he's as big as I thought he was. I mean, he looks like a bruiser. Keith has got some absolutely beautiful land here. But it's got grass this high everywhere. It's never been grazed by cattle since he's owned it, and you know that he just builds the habitat in here for the deer. Like he was telling me last night after dinner, he said, I just love watching them, just love seeing the deer, just love being with them and working with them and seeing them do what they do. And he said, so I want the habitat to be perfect. He said it makes it very difficult to see the deer. Like this one here. Look at this one. Watch her go. She's walking into the grass. And just like that, she just disappeared. Now I can see the top of her ears. I mean, they've taken a total of 3 deer off so far this year, and that's it. Just allows a few guys to come down and do a hunt, enough to pay for some of the costs he has in maintaining this deer property here.
Well, let's see here. I got a text message from Babe. He says he's got one on the ground. Pretty good morning, wasn't it?
Oh boy, this grass is so unique. All of a sudden you can see a rack.
Yep.
And then his head would go down, you couldn't see nothing. All of a sudden you see another rack. And then this big boy stepped out of the grass over here, and we waited until we had good light and dropped him right in his tracks.
But the grass, it's unbelievable. The deer can move through here, and if you're not paying attention, you're not going to see them at all. I mean, and we're losing leaves every day now. I mean, with the first good norther comes through, we're going to lose the rest of the leaves. But the acorn crop is on the ground, and the deer got their heads down. Unless they have their heads up, you're not going to see them. Well, let's go see what you got.
You're gonna like them, I think.
I think I will too.
All kinds of stuff on him we didn't know he had.
Holy smokes, look at that.
I'm thrilled with him.
Well, so am I. I mean, thank you so much.
Thank
it's
you.
just, he's a beauty. But
Yes,
what I
he is.
love about the deer is you get all kinds of junk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Look
I mean?
at that.
I
How
would,
could somebody not like this? Look at that. How wide is he?
I don't know.
But he's wide enough.
Couple of feet.
I got a surprise for you. This afternoon, would you mind shooting a deer for me? I mean, you know, would you mind that? There's one deer in particular I really want you to go for him.
Yeah, all right.
1, 2, 3. This management deer is a beautiful deer. I mean, he's got, I don't know how many points, but he's got plenty. And he's just a beautiful deer, but he just doesn't have genetically what we want to see in the herd down the road. And I wanted Babe so bad to take him. And so I took Babe, I said, look, he's hanging in this one area. Let's go ahead and put you in this spot. And I kind of think that Babe thought, you know, high fence, you know, this is not fair chase. Okay, we're gonna stick him in this one area and this buck's just gonna walk right in and say, shoot me, Babe. Yeah, right. Babe sits there and deer never showed up. And then he had to catch a flight out of here. And so what do? Well, I'm gonna hop in the blind and keep my fingers crossed.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com.
And so I'm pretty optimistic we're going to see a lot of animals. We're looking for one particular deer though, one deer that I do not want breeding in the herd. And if he shows up, he's going to be in trouble. Got some black buck right there.
Yeah, I wound up years ago. I said I was never going to have anything out here except whitetail deer because I love whitetail deer. But you know what? Black buck are beautiful. They are beautiful, and they don't compete at all with the whitetail deer. So we wound up, we brought a few black buck out, and then all of a sudden now, we got a lot of black buck out here.
There's a lot of deer out there, but I do not see who we're after. The deer that we're after is a year older than that deer right there. But that's a management buck too. That's all he's going to ever be. He'll get a little bit bigger than that, but that's all he's going to ever be. There's some standing over there in the grass, but their heads are all down. Now that one buck looks very suspect. That is him. That's absolutely him. You know what? The reason why we haven't seen him, look who's with him. He's got a doe with him. The doe's right to the left right there. That's him. Look at him. He does have a doe with him. That's the reason why Babe was unable to see him. He was hooked up with a doe. Oh yeah, that's a pretty deer. That's the one I wanted Babe to get right there. Oh, look at him. Come on out in the open. He's using that brush to cover himself, isn't he? He's got to move about 5 feet to the left, so. Come on, turn sideways. Okay, I got him cut, yes. He needs to turn sideways. He's not making it easy, is he? Okay. Okay. Goodness gracious. Tell me when he's in the clear. You there? My gosh, that was amazing. That deer right there. We've been hunting for him and finally had an opportunity at him, but you saw, I mean, he used every tree, every pile of brush, every blade of grass, every single thing that he could to avoid getting a shot. But that's the buck that I've been after. And I'm fixing to show you why.
All right, let me show you why I wanted this guy, why he was actually on our hit list. If you take a good look at his antlers, I mean, he's got
real nice set of antlers. I mean, take a look at that. He really is just a mainframe 8-point. He's a nice deer, but for me, what we're trying to do, our goal out here is to grow big, pretty, typical bucks. And non-typical deer, I really try to get them out of the herd because I don't want them breeding. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take him up to the headquarters. We're going to tag him first, move him up there, and then we're going to record all kinds of data. And what we do is we'll wind up recording the weight and the age and the sex, overall condition of his body, his antler measurement. The reason for doing all that is it allows us to be able to, we've been doing it for 20 years now, it allows us to be able to tell where we are in our management program. And you know, the more data that you can compile with your deer herd, the better the decisions you can make on management. And the meat from this guy, well, it's going to make a lot of people really, really happy. This is really the first time I've ever spent a lot of time with Babe. I mean, you know, we've gone to sponsor deals before and seen each other at shows and all, and I mean, we're friends. But this was an opportunity to spend some quality time with him, some joy of the hunt time with him, you know, around the campfire, talking about things that are important to us. I mean, not just talking about deer and hunting, but talking about families and you know, about our lives and spending some good quality time together. And so this particular hunt was an exceptional experience for me because I got to spend more time with a guy that I needed to spend time with. I know that y'all have probably seen Babe on TV for a long time, and so have I. And the one thing that he promised me this year after he leaves from deer hunting, he says, "Hey, you like to catch big smallmouth?" "Oh yeah. Babe's going to have me up north and we're going to go fishing for some big smallmouth." If you'd like more information about hunting opportunities with us at the Texas Hidden Springs Ranch, you can look us up on our website at texashidden-springs-ranch.com. We're on a special permit program from the Texas Parks and Wildlife. It's called the Managed Land for Deer program. We're level 3, the highest level you can get. And that allows us to hunt during the archery season with rifles. And so what we wind up doing, we try to start hunting during the archery season with archery gear. The reason to do archery early is that, man, the deer get smart in a hurry. I mean, early in the season, the deer are still on their summer pattern. Okay, they've become hard antlered probably for about a month, maybe 6 weeks, but they're on the food source real easy. And so they're pretty predictable. And so for an archer, that's really the best time that we found to go after the big deer.
Hey guys, I'm here at the Texas Hidden Springs Ranch. Had a great time. I'll tell you, we've just seen a ton of deer, and I'm talking quality deer. One of the first things I did when I got here was shoot my bow. I just wanted to make sure that all my sights were on and everything, because when you go out there to hunt, you know you are going to be taking a life. So I just wanted to make sure all my equipment was working. I think what makes this place so unique is the fact that there's just no pressure here. Keith doesn't run many hunters through here. That's what brought me here. And I got to tell you, you'll see some monster bucks.
Yeah, I wound up years ago. I said I was never going to have anything out here except whitetail deer because I love whitetail deer. But you know what? Black buck are beautiful. They are beautiful, and they don't compete at all with the whitetail deer. So we wound up, we brought a few black buck out, and then all of a sudden now, we got a lot of black buck out here.
Coming right up the road, it looks like a pretty nice buck. Yeah, he's a pretty deer. See, I told you there's bucks in here. I believe you. We have a couple. Here comes a big deer. Another one. 10 o'clock, way over. You can see his white. There's 2 of them. But he's a nice one. There's 2 of them. There's one to his. Yeah, there's another one behind him. Yep, I see it. Yep. That's a cool deer, though. Yep. There's a new buckley. Check that buck out over there. The back one. Yeah, there's one. He looks halfway decent. Oh, it's a monster. It is? Yeah. There's a monster over there. It looks like a real good deer. I can't see that.
You know, the cool deal about it is that on the hunt with Rick, I wound up, I had a change in my schedule, which allowed me to be here during the hunt. And you know, we take literally tens of thousands of game cam pics on our Reconyx cameras every single season. And this one particular buck, I had never seen him during the daytime. Never. And so I'm filming, okay? I get to sit in the blind and I get to enjoy it. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how fulfilling it is for me to sit there and be able to look at these deer and go, this is the way it is because of me and my family and our commitment to doing the best that we can. So anyway, I'm sitting there looking at Rick, and all of a sudden Godzilla comes walking out. I mean, here's this deer we have only seen on pictures on the game cameras, and all of a sudden he's standing right in front of us.
After making the shot, Keith and I came back to camp to grab some headlamps, and getting back to where I made the shot, Bob found the arrow and there was good blood on the arrow, which indicated a very good hit. And I gotta tell you, I really was pumped when I saw that.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
Anyway, we were sitting in the stand and boy, the deer were just pouring in from all over. And all evening we had a real nice buck over here, nice management buck. Kept looking up to the east of us here, up in the timber for like an hour. Kept thinking, man, there's gotta be something up there. Finally, closer to dark, this monster comes out of the woods. And I tell you, I mean, he just looked like a man amongst boys. When those big bucks come out, I mean, it's just a different deal. He gave me a pretty good quarter away shot, and I shot him, and here's the arrow, and we're gonna go look for him right now, and my heart's beating 100 miles an hour. We got blood back here, and I found a drop right there. You got blood? You do? A little more? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Yes, baby! Yes! I turned 62 years old next year. I've deer hunted since I was 13. I've killed over 120 deer with my bow. This is the best deer I've ever killed in my life. Oh my word. Thank you, dear Lord. Oh my gosh, guys. Man, I mean, look at that deer. Look at that deer. Is that not awesome?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And Keith Warren, thank you. Guys, I tell you, Keith has a fantastic place to hunt here. And the one reason I came here to hunt with Keith is I know that he doesn't overhunt his place. A lot of these people run hunters in and out, in and out, in and out. And he doesn't run many trophy hunts. And I mean, this is the kind of deer you have a chance at killing. I mean, unbelievable. My old buddy Bob here, we stuck it out the first 2 or 3 hunts. I don't think we seen a buck, and then they just turned on. They turned on.
That cold front changed things quite a bit.
Beautiful. Golly.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Buck of a lifetime, man.
It is beautiful deer. Thank you, thank you. Wow.
All right, so we've got a couple of really nice deer down, and a few weeks go by, and then I've got another hunter shows up, and Jamie's a buddy of mine. Jamie's hunt is taking place in November. The leaves are starting to fall off. It's getting a little bit cooler. It's feeling more like, well, it's feeling more like hunting season.
Maddie and Keith and I went to the blind yesterday, and knew we had some activity out there, and we were just waiting on some daylight, and it started coming in, and I mean, we had, you know, does and bucks coming in, and this one came in, and first thing caught my eye, he had a kicker hanging off the side of it.
That's a nice buck. I can't tell the whole age and all that stuff.
I kept my eye on him, and he was right out in front of us, and And we had a black buck that came in and immediately started making a scrape and, you know, urinating in it. Sat and watched that. A couple of them started sparring a little bit. It was just a lot of stuff that I've never, you know, had the opportunity to experience before. And there was a couple big ones that came in, and Keith got a little sidetracked, and I never lost focus. And I kept kind of asking, you know, what do you think about this one? Is this one, you know, doable or what have you?
And I mean, he is gorgeous. And he's a little bit bigger than probably most management deer, like way bigger than most management deer. But, you know, I'm with Jamie, and I want Jamie to have a good time, and I want to make Jamie's hunt special. So I kind of bumped Jamie up to a trophy hunt. Finally, I give Jamie the cue. It's like, why don't you go ahead and just shoot him if you like him.
Don't get in a hurry at all.
I know. We waited about 5 minutes too long.
Yeah, it's okay. We're fine. We're gonna be fine. Hold still, hold still. I want to get him going down. Holy.
He just went down.
Yeah, that's been trying. He got back in the brush back there and started working that tree, and he got in a little deep, and I didn't think I had a shot at him, but I think I saw his head rear up after we touched it off. So
Oh, he definitely did. I know you closed your eyes
closed
because
my
you were
eyes.
so excited, but
I
it
put
was.
my head back because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
He made me wait too long.
I'm notorious for doing that.
He's right there. Look at the white belly. Oh yeah, there's blood all over.
Look at this, man. He freaking drove it in the ground.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, look at all this trash on him. You could count those too.
Look how long his beams are.
I know.
That's just...
I mean, that's amazing. I just can't get over that.
Look at that. What goes into the health of these deer? It's just absolutely incredible what goes on behind the scenes. In fact, that's probably what I've learned the most out of this trip is not really the, you know, the big bucks, and that's kind of what you focus on when you jump off the airplane. But after seeing the operation, it's kind of a story I don't think that's told quite a bit enough. And when you sit in that blind and you look out in the field, you see very, very quickly that the health and the management and the care and attention that are given to these animals is some serious business. And so anyway, and you get to be with the legend Keith, so that was fun as well.
Management deer to us are 3-year-old deer or older that have 8 points or more. They could have 10 or 12 points, but they're just not genetically what we want to breed. And so we try to get them out early in the season before the rut starts. Again, early in the season, they're very predictable, and we want to target those deer and get them out of the herd. Dean's a guy that's been watching me on television for a long time, and he called up, he says, hey, I'd really like to come. And he's from Pennsylvania, so he and his wife came down here, and I said, I think you're going to be impressed.
Corey's not a good angle. You gotta get him broadside, all right? Okay. Wait till he gets you a good shot. Give him time. If he stopped with it.
Beautiful buck.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show and to the legendary brush country of South Texas. We'll start out tagging along with Dan Tanner, the inventor of the popular Tannerite binary reactive rifle target. Dan will be out to fill the freezer on a late season mixed bag hunt.
You're gonna have a hard time getting this gun away from me.
Then later on, I'll be doing an air rifle product review and afterwards take to the field and see how this gun works on Cottontail Rapids.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill. First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this. It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt.
Let's get started with Dan's hunt. This particular ranch is located about an hour south of San Antonio in what is known as the northern edge of the South Texas brush country. It's late December and the rut's about over. Dan is hunting for a buck that we like to call a management deer. That's a buck that has less than 10 points on this particular ranch and one that is at least 3 years old. It's about an hour before dark on the very first set out, and Dan has several nice bucks in front of him, but so far, a management buck hasn't shown up. Until now.
That's what I came to Texas for, I think. Being from Oregon, I don't have a whole lot of experience with whitetail hunting. This is amazing. I mean, absolutely cool. This is an old 9-point management buck. It's perfect buck to take.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconics, 10X High Performance Hunting Gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
Hey Keith, it's Jack from Florida. I've really gotten into shooting air guns. I see you're promoting Pyramid Air. Why should a person deal with an online retailer versus going to a store and buying the same product? Jack, that's a great question. Online retailers like Pyramid Air have got all the knowledge you could ever ask for when it comes to making a purchase. Call them up, get online, shoot them an email, call them up. Their customer service is unbelievable. and they're a whole lot more knowledgeable than the people that you're going to find at a brick and mortar store. And so that's the reason why I deal with Pyramid Air. They offer so much in the way of the air gun world. I mean, from air tanks and accessories to every gun you can just about name. And so that's the reason why I would encourage you, if you're an air gunner or you're interested in air gunning, get a hold of the folks at pyramidair.com. That's a great question. If you just joined us, we're down in South Texas this week and we're having a blast. We're tagging along with Dan Tanner, who is the owner of Tannerite, the popular binary reactive rifle target. And on this portion of the show, we have my daughter Maddie, who just happened to show up to have some fun.
I came down here to meet Dan and shoot some Tannerite, and this never gets old. Like, every time I do it, I feel giddy, I'm happy, and I love it. This rifle is a 300 Win Mag. It's just like my 6.5 Creedmoor. It hardly kicks, it's not super loud, and I just love the feel of it. So Tannerite is fun, don't get me wrong, but what I actually love about it is it makes me feel confident. I know when I have a good shot. You're gonna have a hard time getting this gun away from me.
A lot of people think that Tannerite's dangerous, the media portrays it like that, and it actually isn't. Just follow the instructions, don't be stupid, have it 100 yards away, have your ears covered, your eyes covered, and be smart. It really isn't dangerous, it's fun.
Yep, we're down here to take out some deer and some hogs, and I think that they're in trouble. Now this is a fully suppressed rifle with a removable can on the end of the muzzle. The reason why we like to use suppressors, we do a lot of shooting and just to protect our ears. You notice I've got it topped off. This is a Pulsar thermal unit. It's called the Trail. The cool thing about the Trail is the fact that it has unbelievable high quality imagery, but you'll notice the battery comes off of it just like that. It's a fully rechargeable battery. As far as how long will that battery last, it'll last you about 8 hours. That's what battery life I get. Now, this is what we record from the shooter's position, okay? And what I wind up doing on this particular hunt, I'm gonna be standing behind Dan, and I've got this unit here. This is a Pulsar 2, but it's called the Helium. Again, it has a removable battery on it, so you can recharge it, put it right back on, and it records unbelievable video. The cool thing about these units, they've come way down in price. They're very easy to function. I give anybody some advice when they go out in the field and use this type of equipment, make sure you know where all the buttons are in the daytime, because at nighttime you don't want to use a flashlight out there, especially with game up close. So anyway, this is our setup. I'll wind up taking the Helion and put it on a little tripod, and it's got a tripod mount on the bottom of it. And I'll wind up filming the shooter, and we get some unbelievable footage that way. Let's take a look at what Dan does on this hog.
It looks like a freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, doesn't it?
You know, this